You're not going to believe it, guys, but I've just sent this dashcam footage in, right? And a local Liverpool Uber driver saved a Wolverhampton driver's probably license or even life, depending on what happened in this video. It's a bit of a mad scenario. But I wanted to go a bit more into this video to show you this dashcam footage, but also talk about it because it's in the news massively now. All about the cross-border hiring, the right and wrongs and all stuff like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you the dashcam footage after my intro. And then I'm going to talk about it afterwards because I think it's a lot to talk about. Because a lot of people see a Wolverhampton plated driver and go, oh, cancel that, I'm not going in a Wolverhampton. I'm sick of getting picked up in a Wolverhampton plated driver. He's coming from Wolverhampton. Technically, he's not. A lot of drivers who are Wolverhampton plated actually live and breathe in Liverpool. They've always have done. They're from here. They know the streets like the back of the hand. But they went there for an easier or quicker badge. But you do have out-of-town drivers that drive in for the city or just dropped off in the city from a different area, maybe Manchester or Wolverhampton, or they drive up. There's loads of reports of people that there's like 5-6 Wolverhampton drivers or Birmingham drivers drive up from the Midlands and get an Airbnb for the weekend and stuff like crazy. Like you hear so many crazy rumours and stuff, or sleeping in the car, stuff like that. But this video, the dashcam footage, give me the idea to obviously talk a bit more about it and show you this footage, like, because it is nuts. Hope you enjoy the video. As per usual, guys, do us a favour. YouTube loves interaction. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a little comment of what you reckon, and I hope you enjoyed the little video. Thank you. See you soon. What you reckon? What you reckon? Honestly, mad, innit? So I'll put this video on DM News. Go check out and read the article for me if you want. All the links are on drivermatty.com, by the way. But the lad, right, so he was parked up on Victoria Street in the city centre, right? Just near the Shankly Hotel. So everyone knows, don't they? Everyone knows that it's a one-way street. If you're from Liverpool or you drive, even just drive a normal car, you know Victoria Street is a one-way street. Yeah, obvious, yeah. Heading towards a little mini roundabout before you get to the tunnels. Everyone knows that little bit of road is one way. So this Uber driver or a taxi driver, don't know who he works for because he's got no stickers or magnets. Wolverhampton, they don't have to have them on no more. He dropped off on Victoria Street, and then instead of driving straight on where he should have hit the little mini roundabout, he went to do a U-turn. And luckily, the Uber driver who sent me the video on Dashcam gave him a little flash and warned him not to do a U-turn. Do you know what I mean? So 100% this Wolverhampton driver was out of town. Do you know what I mean? He could have come up from Manchester, but Wolverhampton could have come from anywhere, to be honest. But you can tell that he wasn't from the area. Now listen, he could have just dropped off. Do you know what I mean? He could have just dropped off here from somewhere else, first time in Liverpool. We don't know. No one knows. But that's the reason why I want to do this video, is a lot of people will assume that a Wolverhampton plated car is from Wolverhampton, and they're not. They could be from anywhere. Do you know what I mean? They could be from France or something. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a Wolverhampton badge. Because what happens is Wolverhampton, they streamlined giving the badges out, and I can't remember the information now. Out of every private hire license in the whole of the UK, 10% of them is Wolverhampton or something crazy like that. I had the figures the other day. And if you think about it, that's the size of Wolverhampton compared to the rest of the country. It is a tiny little place. Honest to God, I reckon the Wolverhampton and all them, I reckon they will be wedged. The amount of plates and everything else. But Andy Burnham come out. He's been in the news. He done an interview on BBC Manchester on the radio and everything else. He's been in the social media all about this issue. Now, what his focus point is like this dashcam footage of this driver not knowing where he is. Do you know what I mean? Doing a U-turn on a one-way street. But also as well as an example, Liverpool license is quite difficult to get. You got to learn quite a lot of bits and bobs, little general knowledge, stuff like that. But then Liverpool licensing is controlling the car. Do you know what I mean? When I get my car plated, it's going to a Liverpool licensed, authorised garage. Do you know what I mean? Everything's overseen by Liverpool because we're in Liverpool. Same with Sefton, same with Knowsley, right? So what the issue with what people are saying about the plate is not the fact that he's driving here and he's not from here. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact that the standards of other councils might not match the standard of where they're working. As an example, Manchester, the actual badge I think is pretty difficult to get. The city centre, the Manchester actual council's badge, I think it's still got a knowledge test. It's quite expensive. They have restrictions on vehicles and everything else. And then they maintain their cars. So when you've got cars from Knowsley or Sefton working in Manchester city centre or Wolverhampton, do you know what I mean? It's hard for them to oversee the cars and stuff because the council's 100 mile away. Do you know what I mean? And that's, I think, the issue. It's not more the fact of just like the license or whatever, the license is irrelevant. It's more the safety aspect of it. Do you know what I mean? So technically, I've said this from a lot of people, is wherever you live or wherever you plan to work, just get plated or badged within a badge in that area. Do you know what I mean? Don't be going off somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Try your best to just stick to where you live. Do you know what I mean? Because if something does happen in the future... Now listen, there's been a few rumours going about this week. A few rumours. One rumour is it's back. Delta's being bought out by streetcars. The rumour was last year. It's back again. That's circulating. And also what was quite interesting, I'd love to know if anyone knows this in the comments, is Delta have started rushing the Wolverhampton plated drivers who work for them in to get changed over to Sefton or start the process of Sefton. Now, is this them being a bit proactive, or is this they know something about it that's going to be happening soon, that they've heard something, or like they've heard from the council, listen guys, this is happening in 6 months or 12 months or whatever, and they've actually started the process of getting their drivers that are plated with Wolverhampton into a plate or a badge of their local council, like Liverpool, Sefton or Knowsley. But to be honest, Delta is based in Sefton, so Sefton is their badge, do you know what I mean, their local area. So it'll be interesting to see what's happening over the next few years. Because it's law, I just don't think it can change. I just don't think it can. But it's just a mess. The actual like cross-border hiring, the licensing rules and everything else is just a mess. It is. We've talked about this loads on the podcast and on the channels and the socials and stuff like that. As an example, Warrington. You live in Warrington. You get badged and plated at Warrington Council. You cannot work Uber. But if you're plated with Liverpool, Wolverhampton or Manchester, you can. So Warrington Council denied Uber's operator's licence and they went, no, we're not doing it. You're not coming here. So then all the out-of-town plates can work at Warrington, except Warrington themselves. How is that how is that logical? Do you know what I mean? So I know Warrington, lads who live in Warrington and breathe in Warrington, has gone to Wolverhampton or gone to St Helens or gone to Manchester, Sefton or Knowsley so they can work Uber in where they live. Because they can't work Uber in Warrington, because Warrington denied the ops licence, but Uber can still exist there. Do you know what I mean? So the only thing, you would deny an operator's licence with Uber, you're going to lose out anyway, because all the Uber's going to come in anyway where you work and take all the work off the local companies and your taxis and stuff like that. And then the local lads who are plated with Warrington Council can't benefit from it. Or even like get involved in anything, do you know what I mean? So loads of people are saying like how this is going to change and what's going to change. And to be honest, mate, I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't think if anything can happen legally. Do you know what I mean? There's 40, 50,000 Wolverhampton plated cars, as an example, or badges. And if you send them back to Wolverhampton, there'll be, I think, 4 private hire vehicles per street, or 3 private hire vehicles per street. That's how small Wolverhampton is compared to how many drivers there are. So they can't legally do that because you're legally putting people out of work by changing these laws. So the only way they're going to do it is if a new law comes in, they're going to have to stagger it. They're going to have to say you've got 12 months to change your badge. Do you know what I mean? Or you've got 12 months to get badged to where you live or whatever. Whatever rule comes in place. if anything, it's going to be along those lines. Do you know what I mean? So I've been saying myself personally to people I don't know who are licensed with an out of town area. Do you know what I mean? Like if you live in Manchester and you got a Sefton badge and you work in Manchester and you got no interest in working anywhere else, go and look at getting a Greater Manchester badge. Do you know what I mean? If you're in Merseyside and you work and breathe and live in Liverpool, but you've got a, I don't know, Manchester plate or a Wolverhampton badge, have a look at applying for Nosey, Sefton or Liverpool, just to start getting the ball rolling. Because you can still work and everything else while you're applying for your badge. Do you know what I mean? You can be Wolverhampton plated driver in Liverpool, apply for your Liverpool Council, Sefton or Knowsley. It might take 6 months or 8 months, but you can still work while you're doing the training and stuff like that, because you're already licensed, aren't you? And as soon as you get your badge, flip them, hand your one back. Do you know what I mean? Just look after yourselves, guys, because something might come out of this, something might not come out of this. We don't know. It's all hypothetical, it's all guessing, but I can't see, like, what's the risk? Like, why risk it? If you are working in an area and your badge is not matching that area, why not just go and reapply and start the process? Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to give you a bit more advice just in case something does come in. Do you know what I mean? Because if something does come in and then the 40,000 Wolverhampton badged cars who are in Manchester and Liverpool, say, all apply to go local, go to Manchester or go to Liverpool, you know, go to a Merseyside or a Greater Manchester badge, there's going to be a massive backlog in it because everyone's just going to rush in. I'll get in there now, just in case. Do you know what I mean? Cover yourself, guys, cover yourself. But listen, this little video of the dashcam footage of the guy doing a bouncer on Victoria Street just give me the idea of talking about it all and stuff, and trying to give a little bit of advice if I can. And yeah, thanks as always for tuning in, much appreciated. It's been a long week, tiring week with the kids being off, and I probably look like crap. I can't even tell. The lights, my lights are mad. Like, look how bright my lights are. I've got proper lights in now. Do you know what I mean? Like a professional. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out drivermatty.com and like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Please let me know in the comments what you think. See you later.